Derek Jeter was born on June 26, 1974, in Pequannock Township, New Jersey, but his story truly began to take shape in Kalamazoo, Michigan, where he grew up dreaming of becoming a baseball legend. His father, Charles Jeter, and mother, Dorothy Connors, raised Derek and his sister Charlie in a household built on discipline, education, and ambition. Every year, the family would travel to New York, and young Derek would sit in the stands at Yankee Stadium watching the New York Yankees. While most kids admired the bright lights and roaring crowd, Derek focused on something deeper. He imagined himself on the field wearing the iconic pinstripes. From the beginning, Derek had a quiet confidence that made him different. At Kalamazoo Central High School, he wasn't just another talented athlete. He was a phenomenon. He batted over .500 during his senior year, stole bases effortlessly, and played shortstop with an elegance that caught the attention of scouts across the country. But Derek's dream was bigger than high school glory. In 1992, the Major League Baseball draft arrived, and the New York Yankees selected him 6th overall. The moment felt like destiny. The boy who once watched games from the stands would now chase greatness on the same franchise he idolized. The journey to the big leagues, however, was not instant magic. Derek spent years in the minor leagues grinding through long bus rides, small stadiums, and relentless criticism. Early reports from scouts questioned his defense, claiming he didn't have the range to play shortstop at the highest level. For a young man who had always believed in himself, those doubts could have been crushing. Instead, Derek used them as fuel. He practiced endlessly, fielding ground balls until the sun disappeared beyond the horizon. In 1995, Derek finally got his first taste of the majors. He played only a handful of games that season, but it was enough to show flashes of the brilliance that would soon captivate baseball fans. The following year changed everything. In 1996, Derek Jeter became the Yankees' starting shortstop and exploded onto the scene, winning the American League Rookie of the Year. His smooth defense, clutch hitting, and calm leadership helped power the Yankees to victory in the 1996 World Series. For the Yankees, it ended an 18-year championship drought. For Jeter, it was only the beginning. Soon, Derek became the face of a dynasty. Alongside stars like Mariano Rivera, Jorge Posada, and Andy Pettitte, Jeter led the Yankees through one of the most dominant eras in sports history. Championships followed in the 1998 World Series, 1999 World Series, and 2000 World Series. The Yankees were unstoppable, and Derek was their heartbeat. But it wasn't just statistics that defined Jeter, it was moments. The kind of moments that fans replay forever. In the 2001 postseason, during a tense playoff game against the Oakland Athletics, Derek made a play that would become legendary. A wild throw sailed past the cutoff man, but somehow Jeter sprinted across the diamond, scooped the ball, and flipped it home in one smooth motion to tag out the runner. The play became known simply as the flip. It was instinct, awareness, and determination fused into a single heartbeat of baseball brilliance. Then came October 31st, 2001. The 2001 World Series was locked in a dramatic battle against the Arizona Diamondbacks. At exactly midnight, the calendar flipped from October to November, something that had never happened before in the World Series. Moments later, Derek Jeter smashed a walk-off home run into the night. The stadium erupted, and fans gave him a new nickname, Mr. November. Over the years, Derek's reputation grew beyond baseball. He was calm under pressure, respectful to teammates, and relentless in pursuit of excellence. In 2003, he was named captain of the New York Yankees, a role previously held by legends like Lou Gehrig and Don Mattingly. Wearing the captain's C wasn't just symbolic. It meant carrying the expectations of the most famous franchise in baseball. Yet even heroes face adversity. In 2004, the Yankees suffered one of the most shocking collapses in sports history during the 2004 American League Championship Series against the Boston Red Sox. After leading the series 3-0, the Yankees lost 4 straight games. For Jeter, the defeat was painful, but it strengthened his resolve. He believed greatness was measured not only by victories, but also by how a team responds to heartbreak. Years passed, but Derek continued building his legacy. He surpassed milestone after milestone, 3,000 hits, countless clutch performances, and leadership that younger players tried to emulate. On July 9, 2011, He stepped into the batter's box needing just one more hit to reach the magical number of 3,000. The crowd at Yankee Stadium held its breath. The pitch came, and Jeter crushed it over the wall for a home run. Only Derek Jeter could turn his 3,000th hit into a home run. The stadium shook with celebration. By the time his career began winding down, Derek Jeter had become more than a player. He was a symbol of professionalism, loyalty, and championship mentality. In 2014, he announced his final season. Every stadium he visited honored him. Opponents, rivals, and fans alike stood in applause for the man who had spent 2 decades defining excellence. Then came September 25, 2014. One last game at Yankee Stadium. The score was tied in the 9th inning. The crowd roared as Derek stepped to the plate one final time. The pitch came in, and he lined the ball into right field for a walk-off hit. Teammates stormed the field as the stadium exploded with emotion. It was the perfect ending to a legendary career. When Derek Jeter finally walked off that field, he left behind a legacy carved into baseball history. Over 3,400 hits, 5 World Series championships, 14 All-Star selections, and the respect of millions around the world. Years later, in 2020, Derek Jeter was elected to the National Baseball Hall of Fame, receiving one of the highest voting percentages in history. It was the ultimate recognition of a career built not just on talent, but on character and relentless dedication. From a young boy watching games in the Bronx to becoming the captain of the most famous team in baseball, Derek Jeter's life story is one of vision, discipline, and unforgettable moments. His career reminds the world that greatness isn't simply about winning. It's about rising in the moments that matter most. And long after the cheers fade and the stadium lights dim, the legend of Derek Jeter, the captain, Mr. November, will continue to echo through the history of baseball.